There's more to imagine when you listen. So let your imagination soar with Audible. Audible has audio titles from every genre that will inspire you to imagine new worlds, possibilities, and ways of thinking. As an Audible member, you get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. Enjoy an exciting reawakening of a beloved classic with the Audible original David Copperfield by Charles Dickens, produced by Academy Award-winning director Sam Mendes, starring Ncuti Gatwa, Helena Bonham Carter, and Theo James. This adaptation breathes new life into a familiar tale. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500.
Are you struggling to close deals? Cold outreach is wasting the time of both the buyer and seller at every stage, especially when sellers are using shallow and outdated data. Your organization can overcome these challenges with technology that translates comprehensive, high-quality buyer data into real-time insights. These deeper insights empower sales reps and teams to adopt the habits of top performers, which leads to better outcomes, like more pipeline, higher win rates, and larger deals. We call this deep sales. And we've built the first deep sales platform with the next generation of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/trial and get started.
Welcome to How to Survive, the show that teaches you how to survive the things that can kill you.
Like ocean currents collapsing,
Ay.
bad housekeeping, or cheating on your spouse.
That's right. Or the things that just make you wish you were dead.
Like having sex with Donald Trump.
God.
Or long lines at Disney. Being shamed by an audience member.
Oh, that's happened to me. Do that on a bonus episode, I guess. Yeah, that was fun.
Well, I think we've all had this experience.
Yes.
And you know another experience that we love to share?
Our theme song?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Ground is shaking under our feet, mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Gobbling down Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. Ooh, how to survive. Ooh, how to survive.
Hello. Oh, you're just...
Whoa.
Wait, what? Oh, I caught you off guard. You're putting your cap back on your water.
You know what I was doing?
What?
I was wetting my whistle.
Were you hydrating?
I always hydrate. Never not hydrating.
Right. Yes. Same, which is why I'm never not peeing. You
Me.
spent the weekend at the happiest place on earth.
Oh, I sure did.
How'd it go?
I was pretty happy overall.
You went with... Now, when last we left each other, which was off air, we found out that Sven had COVID.
Yep, I got two positive COVID tests in my not my Instagram feed. We only communicate via my
That's so
Instagram
weird.
feed. It's a functional marriage. No, he texted me while we were taping here last week, 2 positive COVID tests, which was very bizarre because I was under the impression that COVID was over. Weren't we
I
all?
don't even know what that is.
I certainly wasn't under the impression that it was over.
But
however,
have you heard about it lately?
Not that recently, and it was weird when you told me he was really sick. It never even occurred to me that he had COVID.
Same.
It was so weird. So how is he feeling?
Much better. Still testing positive.
Oh, wow.
So he's still he's masking constantly in the house unless it's like we've been eating out on the deck.
Okay.
So, you know,
Smart.
we can eat together. And I'm still sleeping on the couch.
Oh, your
Lucky
poor
me.
back.
And
Oh,
he's been offering. He's like, let me sleep on the couch. And I'm like, no, when I'm sick, the sick person gets the bed.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
That would be the rule in our house, except for my husband can't sleep on the couch. It's not comfy.
I don't care.
He literally can't sleep. So, but I can. I can sleep anywhere.
Yeah.
I could fall asleep right now and be completely
it.
fine sitting up.
I was fine. I mean, our couch isn't that bad. It turned
Okay,
it's
good.
an IKEA couch we got when we got married, and it's still pretty comfortable.
Good.
So, shout out to IKEA, not one of our sponsors.
So all of you were supposed to go with another family to the Magic Castle.
Exactly.
And it was just you and the kids. I'm taking it.
Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, what's the Magic Castle?
The joke place?
Place
No,
I've never
what
been
did you
there.
call it?
The joke place?
No, that's
What are we
no. She's talking about the castle, the comedy castle. What's it
It's
called?
not called the Magic Castle?
No, the Magic Castle is the magic place.
Isn't it two things? The Magic
But aren't they
Castle and
aren't they people who do magic and they're like being funny? I mean in a magic way. I don't mean in an actual
Not
way.
necessarily.
Listen, it's my nightmare to have to go there.
I've been there. Yeah, I don't like magic. I'm not a fan.
We've covered this in previous episodes. I don't remember which ones, but it's well established fact that neither one of us like magic.
Yeah, that's true. That is that's canon.
How was your weekend?
Well, not that exciting. I did see Fall Guy.
And
I thought it was delightful. I think it's super fun.
yeah.
Did you see it, Karen?
No.
Oh,
I'm going today,
Okay.
supposedly.
it seems to be a very polarizing movie.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I just see a lot of people say it's dumb.
Okay.
And I loved every minute of it.
Were they expecting
I don't
like
know what they were expecting.
12 Angry Men? Could I come up with an earlier reference?
Yeah, I don't know what they were expecting, but I thought it was really. Look,
You mean critics or people you know who saw it?
well, one guy who I know who saw it is a critic.
Oh,
But
I love how you got both.
I got both.
You got both.
I will say this: if it hadn't been Ryan Gosling, I don't think it probably would have worked. Like it's so much is on how wonderfully charming
Yes.
he is, and
Yes.
other things of his that
Or
are
like
nice.
any SNL sketch
Right,
where he's just so
damn
winning.
charming. Yeah,
Yeah.
So I will say that, but I think it's a blast. Yeah, I think it's super fun.
They're both charismatic people.
They're both great.
I mean, how can you deny them?
Yeah.
Put them
Yeah.
together, and it's like just a charm sandwich.
It is a charm sandwich. And then we watched a bunch of other things that were horrible.
Tell us what to avoid.
Well, I got 18 minutes into, only because I was eating, I probably would have turned it off earlier,
Yes.
into the Anne Hathaway movie.
The Idea of You.
The Idea of You. Oh my God. It is so bad.
really?
Oh my God.
Oh no! You were so looking forward to that.
Yeah, it was slow. It was like obnoxious. It was horrible.
You
Yeah.
didn't even get to the good stuff.
I know. I thought I should just fast forward into the sex
What's
part.
the sex stuff is the good
Yeah.
stuff. Is there any is it real sex or just like making out?
No, it's
There's
just,
no like nudity. It's not
no,
like
no,
real.
No. It's
sexy.
No, they're rolling around and making out, and he pulls her underwear off, and then I think it fades to black or something.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if we watched anything.
I guess there was just a lot of that this weekend. There wasn't.
Hacks?
Well, Oliver,
Did you watch Hacks?
Yes,
Both
we watched both
episodes?
episodes of Hacks. Yeah, that was good.
Watched that. Enjoyed that. What about? Has anyone watched the new Jinx?
Yeah, I'm the
not
one who
yet.
told you to watch it.
Well, I can't remember. When did you tell me last week?
Twice last week.
I forgot that already.
Remember, because you were like, "How could there be another season?"
Okay. Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So, have you watched it now?
just last night,
Did you watch both episodes?
just the first one.
Okay. There are laugh out loud moments in the second episode.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, I really, really enjoyed the first episode.
Right?
And I
I
was
told
so
you.
surprised because you're like, what is there to
Right.
tell? What turns out there's a lot.
But how funny is it when the DA is like, "So why did you agree to do the documentary?" And he's like, "Still trying to figure that one out."
Yes.
Wasn't that funny?
It's so funny. And I also love when they're like, why did you stick around? Like he's got all this
Right.
money and he's going to go to Cuba. And I just thought of like my dad, like who's like doesn't really want to do anything except go to Walmart. And it's like, oh, because he's old. Like he doesn't, it's like hard.
But he got a mask.
Like he got all the stuff, but then it was like hard probably for
To
him
implement it.
to do it because
Right.
I think, you get older and you're like, oh, I don't really like to drive at night. Like you start changing, you get a little more
I think I'll just get
fearful.
caught.
It's like I don't want to run because I would like my shows and
I can't remember why. Yeah, right. I can't remember why he killed the neighbor. I think was it over a money thing. I can't remember because they don't retrace that yet, and also why he claims that he didn't kill the neighbor, just chopped him up. I was trying to remember what the story was with that, but I couldn't remember.
For practice? What?
I mean, he'd already
This
killed.
is what he claimed, that he had just
Might as well chop him up.
And he got off on that one.
yeah, and made a new friend.
The lawyer?
The jury guy.
Oh, right.
So
yeah.
so weird.
He becomes friends with one of the jurors and
his wife.
His knucklehead wife.
Oh my God.
Too. Yeah. Well, there's even more crazy characters come in the next episode.
I can't wait. And even his own wife, who I was like, imagine being okay with like knowing your husband has been accused of 3 murders and just like, I don't ask questions.
Everyone
has so much money.
Everyone in his life is like that.
Yeah.
You'll see. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
I told
God.
you, it's good watching.
It is good watching. It's really well done.
Yeah.
And scene. Guys, I'm in the middle of a mystery. I think I might be listening to a fundamentalist Christian podcast accidentally.
How fun. How did that happen?
So I came across this podcast because it's a good question. It's a good question that neither one of you asked. You're like, I don't care.
I don't even know what the story is yet.
So there's a new book that came out recently by this, I think his name's Jonathan Haidt, maybe, but not Haidt, like Haidt, about like, cell phones and how they're ruining our children's lives, basically.
Yeah, you did mention this.
And so then maybe I came across the podcast.
And also how public school is ruining our lives. Well, and also, and maybe you should homeschool your child.
Okay, that's funny that you say that. So I came across this podcast one way or the other, and it's called 1,000 Hours Outside. And the idea is kids need more time in nature.
Right.
They spend an average of 4 hours a day on their phones and an average of 13 minutes outside. That's a true statistic, whatever. So I was like, oh, this podcast sounds interesting. It's all about like, it's a mom who hosts it, and she has different people on who write books about parenting and nature and the importance of like connecting with your kids. And I was like, oh, I'm going to check it out. So I liked a couple of the episodes, and she had like an AI expert on and how to protect your, prepare your kids for the AI that's coming, a lot of science kind of stuff. But then it's kind of a lot of parents who have come on too, and they're all part of this community where they all seem to have a lot of kids. Where she has like 5 kids, and then this woman she had on comes, she's
they
like
have a
has
quiver
7
full of
kids.
kids?
And she was like, I was a public school teacher, but then I went to homeschooling and the homeschool movement. And they talk a lot about homesteading. A lot of people live on like, don't look it up, Garen, because I don't want you to solve the mystery for me.
Okay.
I want to solve it myself.
Yes, you want to go through the whole thing.
By listening for clues, because no one's mentioned God yet.
Okay.
But it feels like...
Can you explain to me what homesteading is? Because I've heard this a lot lately.
I think it's like people who like...
live off their land?
Bake sourdough. It's like hobby farming,
Oh,
like my
okay.
brother does this, right? I mean, he has a job. He owns a company, but like he has pigs and he has chickens and he has his own pigs. He'll have them slaughtered,
right.
And then they eat the pigs. And he has chickens and he raises them for their eggs, and then they eat the eggs, and then he'll have a chicken slaughtered.
So it's farming without a commercial gain.
Exactly.
It's just for yourself.
It's for yourself. Like homesteading might not be the same as hobby farming, but I think it's this idea of like, we live simply,
right.
We live off the land, we try to have a garden, and we make our sourdough bread. So there's a lot of that kind of talk.
Okay.
There's a lot of homeschooling talk. A lot of the people seem to have 5 to 7 kids.
Yeah.
But they'll say, oh, remember when we saw each other at the conference? And I'm like, what the fuck what's the conference?
So
they never name the conference.
Did they edit out all the religious?
Yeah, I'm like, is it a conference for like...
It's that harvest thing I was talking about.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
So it's like, are a lot of these women those, what's that trend?
Trad wives. Because a lot of the stuff they say, I'm like, yes, I agree. We should hike more. We do need to be outside. Right.
We don't need kids to be on phones. But then they're saying other stuff that I'm like, you're giving me clues, but you're not
Why
saying...
can't I wear pants?
Yeah, you're not saying the words.
Right.
Like the one woman today was like, I'm still young, like she has kids who are from 30 to like, I don't know, 2 or something. And she's already a grandmother. And she's like, I'm still young and I can still have a lot of things, that I want to pursue that are really interesting to me, like baking sourdough bread. Like I think she's going to say like writing a book.
Yeah, and she's like preserves.
Yeah, she's like preserving jam.
Right.
Like stuff that I'm like, no, that's not where I thought you were going to go at all.
Right.
Nothing wrong with those things. P.S.
Yeah, I might actually change to that. I could see that being a lot more fulfilling. I mean, because you can have an accomplishment.
You can achieve your goal.
You can achieve your goal.
I actually do I do like cooking and
no,
baking.
I understand what you're saying.
So I don't want to dismiss
You think
it.
she's going one way and she's going, yeah. It all goes back to this sort of like maybe quasi-religious thing.
Well, yeah, I'm just like, it feels like there's going to be God in here.
How many more episodes are there?
Oh,
or is it a continuing thing?
This podcast I think has been going for years.
Oh.
So I'm just dipping my toe in. I've only listened to a few, like maybe 5.
You should like go to like the 3rd season in and see what they're
I know.
doing.
I don't even know what season I'm in. I think it must. I mean, she does all her own commercials, so she's successful enough. It's not a small podcast. Like, and she's doing
Well, there's a very large, know, right-wing contingency in this country.
I don't even know. Like, I don't know if they could also be not right-wing and be like those. You know, there are hip Christians. Have you ever come across the hip Christians?
No.
You know, like
Isn't
Cold
that
War
what-
Kids, that band. They're all Christians. Imagine Dragons. They're all Christians.
I don't know. I've never heard of Cold War Kids. I know.
I could play a song.
The
and
Killers are Mormon.
You would know. They also might be Mormons. These people podcast.
It's ringing that sort of thing to me.
Mormon?
It's ringing Mormon.
Because they're all
especially
like,
with
they're
the kids.
so nice too that I'm like, this feels Mormon with all those kids. Anyway, guys,
I can't wait to find out. You have to give us updates.
I know. I it's hard not to Google the answer, but I also like listening to like search for the
I
clues.
think that's really fun. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my little mystery of the week.
Just don't get
MOW.
indoctrinated. Don't
I know.
come
What
in
if
here
I
in a
start
frock.
coming in like paisley dresses and guys, I have some sourdough bread for you.
What if you are 100% going to do that?
I know. I already have paisley dresses.
You're one comfortable shoe away from.
guys. I already have all my shoes are comfortable shoes.
Yeah.
Am I already this?
Yeah, I think you are.
Except for the God stuff. Should we get into today's
I mean,
topic?
your husband like makes furniture. I mean, how much more?
Yeah, you're
or
raising
lamps.
a barn next.
Yeah.
You know,
You got a lot of animals.
I so badly want chickens. My husband's the only thing stopping me. We're going to talk today. This is a different kind of episode.
Okay.
This is like chock full of stuff.
Oh.
Because this is how to survive dumb ways to die.
Ah, I love it.
Are you ready, guys?
So ready.
So ready.
I had a lot of fun with this one.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I went to for inspiration. I will say I had many sources, but the one I'm going to tell you about as a main source that I got some fun ideas from was a BuzzFeed article that was seemingly harmless things that could actually kill you.
Oh, okay.
All right, so dumb ways to die. Here's the first one: cheating on your spouse.
What?
Right? Yeah. Did you know that?
No.
So cheating won't just break your partner's heart.
Yeah.
Danielle. It might just break yours too. According to the American Heart Association, in an autopsy of sudden death patients, in an autopsy of sudden death patients, 75% died during extramarital sex with a younger partner in an
What?
unfamiliar setting and or after excessive food and alcohol consumption.
Okay.
82, this probably won't surprise you, 82 to 93% of those who died were men.
Yeah.
The number, okay, so this is the part that's going to say, oh, it's not that high. The number who died during the sex was low, 0.6% of all sudden deaths.
Oh, so then where did you get that other number from? That other number was the sex and eating?
The 75% who died during extramarital. Why do I keep saying marital?
I don't know.
Stop me.
Stop it.
Can you burn me with something?
I don't have.
That's the next
Extramarital
season
sex.
of your podcast.
Can you
Burn me with something.
So it's 75% of the people who died
From sudden death.
from sudden death, but this actual percent is only 0.6.
Do you understand at all what she's saying? It makes no sense. 75%. Oh, you're saying but 0.6% of the population of the
Yes.
world dies this way?
No. So there was a sorry. Maybe I left out an important part.
You did say, okay, this is what you said. 75% die. 75% of people who die from sudden death are having extramarital affairs with a younger person, or they've eaten or drank something.
They were also doing that.
Okay, so then what is this 0.6% thing?
All right, hold on. According to a statement from the American Heart Association, an autopsy review of 5,559 cases of sudden death found that 75% of the people who died during intercourse were having extramarital sex.
Oh, okay.
It was often with a younger partner and often after having consumed a lot of food and alcohol earlier in the night. That's a combination of things, okay? So, to be fair, the people in the study whose heart attacks happened during sex was incredibly low in general.
Right.
About 0.6% of all sudden deaths.
Now I got it.
Does that, sorry.
Yes.
I didn't take that first number, and I think that made it confusing. So, what I'm going to tell you is here are some ways to survive cheating on your spouse. First, don't cheat, right?
Don't do it.
Just don't do it. If you're going to do it with someone your own age.
Right.
And do it in your bed.
Oh, no.
Well, it's familiar. It's familiar, guys.
No.
Or just don't do it like in a park or in a car. You know, go to a hotel.
Okay.
That's more familiar. It's a bed. And follow the Mediterranean diet. And don't be a man.
Don't be a man. Okay.
Okay, so this is a goofy story, right? From 2018 from NBC New York. It's not quite this.
Okay.
It's sort of.
It's not 75% of 0.6%?
It's not.
Okay.
And it's a little adjacent. But I was like, I'm going to share it because I think it's goofy. A man returned to his New Jersey home Monday night in 2018, guys. Not just this past Monday night.
Okay.
To find both his wife and her lover dead in the garage after the pair apparently died of carbon monoxide poisoning while having sex.
No.
The 39-year-old woman and her 56-year-old lover. Oh. So he was older. So it was true for him.
Okay.
So, whose sources believe was her mechanic, were discovered just before 9 p.m. Monday at the house in Newark. Sources say the wife and the mechanic were having sex in a car in the garage when they were both killed by the poison gas. The husband came home later to discover their bodies.
Wait a second. This guy's a mechanic and doesn't know to turn off the car if you're going to have sex in a car?
Worst mechanic ever.
Why would they leave the car on? What idiots.
Just turn the battery on if you need the music.
Here's the thing.
You don't need music you need to hear if your fucking husband's coming. You don't need distracting sounds.
Yes. Well, maybe they were like listening to some Meatloaf to get him into the mood.
Some who?
Meatloaf.
Okay.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Did I say meatloaf?
Kinda.
I always say meatloaf with a British accent. I always say meatloaf with a British accent.
But you always eat meatloaf with Yorkshire pudding, so it makes sense.
I do. That's the only way to have it.
That is a great Elizabeth Moss impression.
Thank you. Law enforcement sources said, sorry. I don't know what's happening today.
She had too many Mickey ice cream
bars.
I
did have one. Law enforcement sources said they believed the wife was paying for her car work by having sex with the mechanic.
In her own garage? I mean, none of this makes sense.
What the fuck? Also, like...
Right.
Okay.
Wouldn't she just tell her husband, hey, I don't have any money to pay for this garage work. Maybe give me some money or I'll have to have sex with him.
It all seems bizarre, right? He was like, I'm not paying for you to get your car fixed. And she's like, well, I'm going to have sex with the mechanic then in our garage with the car running.
He's like, well, I hope you die.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we don't know the secret lives of married people.
Yeah.
So I hope we've all learned a lesson from that.
Sure.
All right. Are you ready? I hope I've put these in order of ascending craziness.
Okay.
Are you ready for the next crazy dumb way to die?
Yes.
Vending machines.
No.
Oh, yeah. You heard it here
crawl
first.
up in there?
You crawl up and you're trying to get a Snickers and you go through the bottom and then you just get trapped and then people think you're available as an item.
Yeah, they press D5
for Danielle and then they die.
Oh no.
Okay, so this is actually pretty rare, but it's not unheard of.
Okay.
Between 1978 and 1995, there were 37 known cases of people dying.
That seems a lot.
It does seem a lot. And 113 injuries due to vending machines falling over onto them. They're very heavy, you guys. You want to guess how heavy a fully stocked soda machine is?
Oh my God.
Just guess.
A ton.
400 pounds?
650 pounds.
Wow.
Roughly. All right. So then in 1995, The number of the manufacturers, without any pressure, like just on their own, decided to label their machines with a warning so that they could cause death or serious injury if rocked or tilted, right?
I was going to say, so the reason they're falling is because people are going, oh, my chips are stuck.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the warning. I enjoyed it. Warning, never rock or tilt. Machine can fall over and cause serious injury or death. Vending machines will not dispense free product.
I just like, oh, it's. I thought it was victims of, my chips aren't coming down. But you're saying it's actually people
are also trying to get
the free stuff.
It's probably
right.
a mix
probably
of
both. Right?
Of both. Like people getting angry.
Who of us hasn't tried to shake a vending machine? I mean, I'm sure I have
done it. I've
Yeah.
done it. I won't do it again. So those numbers that I shared with you earlier equal an average of 2.18 vending machine deaths per year. Here's something fun. Compare that with the number of national shark deaths in 2021, just one. So according to this piece I read in Slate, the International Shark Attack File didn't have public data on fatalities in the U.S. in the 80s, right? So making this comparison a little bit difficult. It's not like an apples to apples comparison. But if you just look at those two numbers alone, it seems that vending machines are more dangerous than sharks. So Hannah Dr. Loeb is her name. And
Hannah Doctor.
Okay. She's a journalist for Slate. She reached out to the CPSC to see if there were any updated statistics. And according to the agency's press secretary, Patty Davis, there hasn't been a reported vending machine death since 2008 when a 51-year-old male died of a pulmonary embolism after a vending machine fell on his foot.
Oh.
Right?
Oh. Poor guy.
Here's what she did say, though, that from 2008 to 2021, there were an estimated 36,600 hospital emergency department visits, which were associated with, though not necessarily caused by, vending machines. Okay. However, slot machines and gumball machines both fall under this category of vending machines.
When she said vending machine deaths, did you picture people going up into? It might be because I just saw an ad for the next Minions movie, and one of the Minions is stuck in a vending machine, and that's literally what I thought you meant.
You were picturing Minions. Have you been picturing Minions
this whole time?
From the beginning.
From
Minions
the very
cheating,
beginning.
Minions humping in
Minions
bed.
going to Disneyland.
Minions not taking the lint out of their dryers.
I guess I just thought it.
No, you
toppling
were picturing the right thing.
Yeah.
A vending machine technically killed someone in 2015. According to a BuzzFeed report, a man tried to blow up a condom machine and a piece of blown off metal hit him.
He tried to blow it up?
Yeah.
Was
so
it
I don't
Christian?
He might have. This is the Christian resistance.
Jesus.
That doesn't really seem like the machine's fault.
No.
Okay, so how do we survive vending machines? Okay, easy.
Don't rock them.
Nothing good comes from a vending machine, right? So just avoid them.
Yeah.
Except Coke. And Diet Coke.
Yeah.
If you must use one, never rock or jiggle. It will kill you. All right? And don't play the slots.
That all works.
You're always
that all
safe
makes
for
sense.
swim in shark-infested waters.
Yes.
You're safe for that way.
Yeah.
All right, here's my final dumb way to die.
Okay.
It's my favorite. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Blowing air into a person's vagina.
What?
Can't relate.
Why would this?
You have zero
You're
risk
safe.
of this one.
Zero risk.
Why would this kill somebody?
I can't wait to tell you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Apparently, this occurs during oral sex in the effort to increase pleasure. But don't do
Okay.
it, okay? It's I don't know who thinks that, but I can tell you none of us want you to do that.
Okay.
I think I'm speaking for everyone.
Yes.
Okay. Especially if the person on the receiving end is pregnant. It's very, very rare, but you can cause a fatal air embolism. This happened with a pregnant woman, more than one, as well as this has happened with pregnant women, as well as women attempting their own abortions using a method called syringing. Okay. This is not to be confused with a very safe and well tolerated medical procedure called MVA, which is still legal in the 17 remaining states that provide abortion access, which is not that many. So make sure everybody votes.
Wait, there's only 17 states left that
Have fully legal abortion access. Yes.
Are you serious?
I am very serious. Yes.
That is horrifying.
So the other ones have some. I know that some of them are basically nothing.
Fully illegal.
But
and
the
some
other ones are just varying degrees.
limited. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Jesus.
So this is interesting. I think it's a medical journal that's pretty reliable that I read this. We report a case of air embolism in a 40-year-old non-pregnant woman subsequent to vaginal insertion of a foreign body, carrot, for an autoerotic purpose. The mechanism is roughly similar to syringing, the foreign body acting like a piston to displace sufficient amount of air. Okay. So she also gave herself a fatal air embolism with a carrot.
I don't understand it. I don't understand what it means. I don't understand how the air can kill you.
The air can go into... you're going to find out.
Okay.
Okay? First, I'm going to say how to survive a fatal air embolism into your vagina.
Okay.
Okay? Don't let anyone blow air into your vagina, especially if you are pregnant.
Okay.
No puffs of air. Okay? Number 2, vote for safe, legal abortion access like your life depends on it. Or, you know what? Somebody you know's life does. We all need to do this. Jesus. My God, if you're not involved, I'm so mad at you. Number 3, do not stick a carrot in your vagina.
But I don't even understand why that would... Okay. I mean, I never have and I don't plan to, but I just...
Guys, do you know about vibrators? Because there's a lot of good ones on the market.
Why? But okay.
I mean, I'm sorry, if you cannot afford a vibrator, just reach out to us.
Listen,
like, if you're like, I have to use this carrot because I can't buy a vibrator.
Okay.
I mean, steal one. I don't know, before you put a carrot. Just shoplift a vibrator before you put a carrot in your vagina.
That was truly fascinating, somewhat horrifying.
Thank you.
And somewhat funny.
I try.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Thank you.
And we will be back right after this.
Fall is here, and if you want to sleep in the coziest bed imaginable, you have to start with Boll & Branch's best-selling 100% organic cotton sheets. You'll spend every night wrapped in buttery, breathable softness and feel your sheets get even softer with every wash. Discover the difference with Boll & Branch's 30-night guarantee. Plus, get 15% off and free shipping on your first set of sheets. Visit bollandbranch.com and use code WONDERY15. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Canva presents a work love story like no other. Meet Productivity. She's all business.
The Canva doc is done.
Creativity is more of a free thinker.
Whiteboard brainstorm.
They're worlds apart, but sometimes opposites attract. Thanks to Canva.
The data is in the deck.
And now it's an animated graph.
Canva, where productivity meets creativity. Now showing on computer screens everywhere. Love your work at canva.com.
Kristine, how was your break?
Pretty good.
Yeah, mine was pretty good too.
Yeah, we hung out a little bit in the bathroom.
Yeah, we had a meeting in the ladies' room, you could say.
We did. Meet and greet. We worked on our quiz wheels a little bit.
Yes. What do you do when we're going to the bathroom, Garen?
My job.
Oh, okay. He socked it to us
dedicated.
right there. He got us. He got us good.
And then I look at my phone after the 2 minutes it takes to do that.
Yep.
So, in the first half of our show, we talked about dumb ways to die.
Yes.
And our guest, Pam Murphy, she's an actor. She's an improviser. You can enjoy her on Crapopolis, which airs Sunday nights at 8:30 on Fox. She is the character Stupendous. She's going to talk about another way to die, breast cancer. But guess what? She didn't die. She's right here.
I'm here. I did it.
Yay!
I'm a hero
Pam.
to us all.
You really are.
What is Crapopolis?
Crapopolis is an animated show that takes place like in ancient times. It's about someone is trying to start a civilization, and it's like gods and humans kind of.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, fun.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like, I don't know if you want to say Greek times, but it's like ancient times.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
We will check it out. My kids.
Mythology kind of stuff like that.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
We'll check it out. My kids love watching animated comedies.
It's a little raunchy.
Is it
raunchy? Adult.
I mean, we watch The Simpsons. We watch Bob's Burgers. We watch.
I think it's
Is it far beyond that raunch?
I guess not.
Okay.
I would say no.
You're a UCB performer? Is that
yes,
right?
I used to improvise. I still do. I used to perform a lot, all the time. Now I don't do it that much.
Oh, okay.
Just like occasionally, maybe a couple times a month.
Oh, well, that's still good.
Yeah.
You're busy doing TV.
Oh, yeah, I'm very busy. No, I'm not. But so, yes, go to UCB Theater and see shows.
Great. Well, we do. So
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you have an incredible story for us. I heard.
Sure. Yes.
Do you agree?
I don't know. I mean, I think like a now it's becoming like unfortunately more common that, that young people are getting breast cancer. Because I was young. I felt like when I had breast cancer. But also I'm like, I'm sorry, I had breast cancer. It's okay. I'm fine. You know, like that part of you or whatever that's like,
How old were you?
I was 34.
Oh, yeah. That's very young.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 34. But my sister is 13 years older than me. I just outed her. But anyway, she's 13 years older than me. And she had breast cancer. So I just like went to the doctor to be like, hey, I want to start getting mammograms early, like at 40 or soon or whatever, because my sister had breast cancer.
And how old was she when she had it?
So she would have been like, it was like maybe a year or two before. So what is
so
she's
she
in
was
her 40s.
Okay.
She was like in her 40s when she had it. And this was like just kind of the beginning of genetic testing.
Yeah.
And like you're just kind of starting to hear about like what BRCA is and stuff like that. So anyway, I went to the doctor to be like, oh, I want to start getting mammograms. And she was like, do you feel this? She like found a lump.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No.
And I was like, no, I never noticed it before. You know, like I didn't feel it. And I was like, it's nothing. She's like, okay, well, yeah, you're going to get a mammogram like now, right? So I went and got a mammogram, and then they were like, we need you to come back to do a higher magnification kind of mammogram or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, it's nothing, whatever. And then they were like, well, now you have to get a biopsy. And I was like, okay, whatever. It's so stupid. Okay, I'll get it. It's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing. So then I got a biopsy, and then at the time I had an answering machine and in my house in like the basement that I would never check because you had a cell phone. There were cell phones at this time.
Okay.
But so I'd like almost never check it. And then finally I like went down. I was like, oh, let's see what's happening on the answering machine. And there were maybe 3 or 4 messages from the breast surgeon being like, please call me right away. And then the last one was like, I'm going on vacation.
Oh,
this
boy.
is my cell phone number.
Oh boy.
So then I was
when
like,
you get
then I was like,
surgeon's cell phone number, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah. Then I was like, you know. So tip number 1: don't have an answering machine that you don't check.
But why did you even still have it?
I don't even know. I know.
Why did you give
I don't
that
know
number?
why I
So
still
you
had a landline. I know. I don't know why I didn't give my cell phone number. I feel like it would have been on the paperwork.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't understand why she didn't call my cell phone. But I guess maybe people still kind of use landlines. It's like 2007.
Okay.
Is that okay?
There was that time when you had to have both.
We did have both, but we didn't keep it locked in the dungeon.
I know. It was like a finished basement. I don't even know why. Why it like wasn't there. I guess that's where like the easy phone jack was. I don't really know. But anyway, so I was like, you know, like, you know, like I was like panicking. And she's like, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. It's a well-worn path. You know, like,
okay. What does that mean?
Means like a ton of people have had breast cancer and you're going to be fine.
Okay.
That's what she's saying. Like, you know, and so I was like, okay, really? And then I was like, but you're going on vacation. Like, I felt like I have to get it out now. Like, you know, and then she was also like, it's not urgent. It's probably been growing for 10 years.
What?
Oh my God.
It's like a the kind I had was like slow growing. And she's like, it's probably been growing for 10 years, blah, blah, blah. So she got back from vacation, and then, you know, I went to go meet with her, and she was, like, interesting. She had, like, adopted 10 children.
Whoa.
And I was like, and she's like, you know, doing breast cancer surgery all the time, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so she made me feel comfortable. She was very cool, you know, and was like, they lay out your options. You know, like, you go to a breast surgeon, you go to, like, an oncologist, then you have a plastic surgeon. And they're like, they lay out, like, kind of it's like, to me it was like a used car salesman. They're like, you know, like if you got a lumpectomy, your odds of getting cancer again is 80%. You know, if you got a mastectomy, is 50%. If you got a bilateral mastectomy, it's down to like 20%. You know, whatever.
Bilateral meaning both
right
breasts are fully removed.
Yes.
Is that okay if I ask that question?
Yeah, ask whatever you want.
Okay.
Ask whatever, anything you want, you could ask. So then they were like, also, you should get tested. You should get like genetic testing because you are young. And then that also helps to inform your decision, you know, because if you're Whatever. So then, yes, I had I got genetic testing done. I had the BRCA gene, so it wasn't my fault I had cancer.
Right. Before that,
I was predetermined.
Yeah.
It was predetermined before I was even born.
So did your mother have breast cancer?
No.
And did you have this? I'm assuming you had the same kind of cancer as your sister.
No.
You're kidding.
We both had breast cancer, but she had a different kind.
So hers wasn't the genetic.
Hers, she did have the genetic thing, but you can have different kinds of breast cancer. Just like having the mutation makes you more susceptible to having breast cancer and ovarian cancer. So you can have like BRCA 1 and 2, but we had the same mutation because when she got genetic testing done, I was like, you got to get genetic testing, blah, blah, blah. And then I could take her test and be like, this is what she had. And then they were just like, yes, you have the same mutation. It was like cheaper and faster. Because she had to like fight her insurance company to get testing. It was like totally different then. It was like new. So yeah, we had different kinds of cancer, like which means like we had different kinds of treatment. She had like, hers was kind of worse. She had like more invasive or something like that. And so I don't know. There's like HER2 negative. I'm like bad at this. I should know this. But there's like HER2 negative.
You're not a surgeon.
I'm not. I'm not a scientist.
I forget what a doctor says to me the second I walk out of the room.
I'm like, that's why it's good to like bring someone with you.
Yes.
Like when you're going, because you're just like kind of in shock and you're trying to digest information. And, you're like writing it down. You're like, but what? But what did they say about this? And then like someone to kind of help you.
Did you have someone to go with you?
Yes, I had a friend go with me.
Great.
And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, it sounds like this. Also kind of like made you like, because I don't know, as a person, maybe you're like, I want to do the least invasive thing or something like that, like I just want to get a lumpectomy. But it was just like that. I would be back in the same thing. You're going to get a lumpectomy, you're going to like get chemo. So for me, I was just like, I don't ever want to deal with this. It seems like a real pain in the ass, like I don't want to ever do this again. Yeah. I mean, like, to be fair, also, except for the first time when I got like listens to the voicemails, I didn't think I was going to die.
Good.
I didn't think like this is going to kill me. But other people think that, are worried about that.
Of course.
And maybe it's because the surgeon was like, oh, it's a well-worn path, like that made me feel like, okay, I'm going to be fine, I'm going to be fine. Whereas my sister kind of was worried that she might die or whatever. And I was like, you're an idiot. Shut up. It's going to be fine. Going to be fine. But
it is really good to tell someone they're an idiot when they are worried about
cancer.
dying. It's I think it's one of the best. It's what
like
they usually say in most of the advice columns.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell them they're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe slap them. Snap out of it.
Just tell them if they do die, it's because they weren't brave enough.
Yeah.
I know.
And it was their fault.
Yeah.
Also, I felt like, so anyway, I'm like, so I decided to do the most aggressive thing, and I had a bilateral mastectomy, and you get chemotherapy just to kill any like other cells that are maybe in it. And I did catch mine kind of early because it was like, if my sister didn't have breast cancer, mine might have been really bad, because by the time I'm like 45, 50, then I go, but so I didn't have like my lymph nodes. I didn't have like lymph node involvement, and it hadn't like, I guess sometimes it breaks or something. I don't know.
Hadn't
and like
spread.
starts, and like becomes tentacle like, throughout the breast or whatever. But so I guess, all of that kind of helped, like it was like stage 2. So it wasn't, it was like, which is the size of the tumor, blah, blah, blah. But blah, blah, blah. But when people are like, oh, you didn't fight hard enough, that's what I always like feel bad about. People who have like different kinds of cancer or more, because people are like, you're so brave or whatever. And it's like, they didn't choose to do this. It's not a matter of bravery, and whether they survive or not is not really what they did, or that they stayed positive.
Yes.
I mean,
I agree with you.
That's very much my feeling, and other people maybe feel very much differently.
I think it's random. I think
is very
it's
random.
up to your body and your doctor.
Yeah.
And I think it's belittling to say to someone, you are so brave for getting a disease you didn't ask for, and for either winning or not winning the battle.
You're going to fight this.
It's just, I think it's fairy tale bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think insulting for those people who don't quote unquote fight hard
I
enough
know.
and die.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Oh, whoops.
Because people are like, exactly. That's not their fault.
Yeah.
It's not like they didn't believe hard enough or like keep a positive attitude. Like, I did not have a positive attitude. I was not positive about it at all. And I'm here,
But you,
like
but
16
you didn't
years later.
think you were going to die.
I didn't think I was going to die. I never really thought I was going to die. Like, in the middle of chemotherapy, I thought, this is going to kill me.
Oh, because it's awful, right?
It's really pretty bad. And I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. In the middle of chemotherapy, I was like really feeling like crap. And I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. I was like, I'm going to stop. And my friends were like, shut up. They said, shut up to me.
Yeah, they smacked you, right?
Yeah, and they smacked me. And I needed it. And so I was like, I really kind of didn't think I could keep going. And then it was just like, okay, I only have this many treatments left. I only have this many treatments left.
How long did you have to do it for?
It was like, I think I had 6 rounds, 3 weeks apart. So whatever that is, 18 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And like, you also have to wait. So like, for me, I don't know if they still do it like this, but I feel like they do. But you have your surgery first because your immune system is up. You know what I mean? And before you start chemo, if you want to bank your eggs, you would do it then. You would go through like, as many rounds of fertility treatment as you want to do. Because chemotherapy can, I don't know, compromise your ability to have children or whatever.
Sure.
So it sends you into menopause, which not everybody does, But this is also kind of a funny thing. I'm getting a little bit distracted, but like, a funny thing is that, like, they're like, maybe your hair won't fall out. Maybe you won't go into menopause, the doctors. And it's like, just say your hair is going to fall out.
Right.
Just be honest. And that you will go into menopause or whatever. So anyway, you get the surgery and blah, blah, blah. And then you start your chemotherapy, like, after you have, like, your surgeries and do everything. So it's kind of like, that takes a couple months kind of before you start your chemotherapy. Then you do chemotherapy, which is bad. They have medicine to make you not throw up. Right. So you're not really throwing up. But it's like it does bad things to your gut health. It's not great. And you also don't feel like, you don't feel like eating.
Oh, right.
Right before I was starting chemotherapy, like the day I was supposed to start chemotherapy, I worked in the mortgage business, and this was before it imploded in 2008. This is 2007. But I got...
Did you cause that?
I did. I had a small part. But I got fired.
For missing work?
Yeah, because, well, I was in sales. So, like, a big part was, like, your production. A big part of, like, what your production is and where you are on the production thing. I'd been out for 6 weeks getting surgery. Yeah. And they knew that. My boss knew that or whatever. So they laid off the lower producers, which I was like, you knew I was out. Like, my numbers are low because I have cancer right now, blah, blah, blah. I keep saying blah, 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 blah. But anyway, he was like, it's just the numbers based on the numbers, blah, blah, blah. And so then I was like, they were like, you have until the end of the month, and then everybody's getting laid off, and you're getting, like, the severance was nothing. It was like nothing compared to our salary. And so I went to my doctor and I was like, I need to go on disability, like, now. Like, I need you to fill out this paperwork. I need to file for disability because I'm kicked off the insurance and I have no job. And then I would have to look for a job, like, while I'm going through chemotherapy.
That feels very illegal.
I was going to say,
I know.
Is that legal?
Awful.
It's not illegal, right?
I guess it is because when I went to because they didn't just lay me off.
Right.
And they said it was because of numbers. And when I talked to the HR person, I was like, but I like specifically said, so they couldn't, say they didn't know. I was like, I have cancer. My numbers are low because I was out on disability. Like, it shows that. And, my boss knew. And so.
And HR was like, yeah, tough luck.
Yeah. They were like, it's based on numbers and you're in. So they laid off maybe like 5 people and I was one of the people.
This sounds like some Catch-22 language, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yes, but it's the numbers.
Right.
But I couldn't do the numbers because I was sick.
Exactly.
Right. So you didn't do the numbers.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And then I was like, I hate corporations. They're monsters. So when I went to my doctor and I was like, they're trying to lay me off, she's like, okay, this happens all the time.
That's terrifying.
Oh my God.
This happens all the time. So she like filled out the paperwork so I go on disability. So don't sign the severance package. If they try to fire you, go on disability like as fast as before, because usually when you get fired, they're like, it's till the end of the month or like these weeks or whatever. So I refused. I was like, I'm not signing the severance package. I like denied being fired. It was like, I refused to be fired.
Good. You can't be on disability if you were fired?
Like you can't get disability, I guess, through like they can't fire you. If I was on disability,
okay.
They
So
couldn't
you're
fire
doing it
me
as a stop measure to prevent
get
being fired. Okay.
Yeah.
So did that work?
Yes.
So they had to keep paying you.
They paid me. I got paid disability.
Which is
like
not
I
the same.
No,
But
and
they're
it's like
paying.
a
It's a
small
pittance,
fraction.
right?
It's a small
But you
fraction.
get to have insurance.
But you get to have insurance, which
I
is
see.
the
Critical.
Big, yes, which is
Okay.
the big, huge difference because otherwise.
You'd have been financially destroyed.
And so then they were like, "Oh, we have your year-end bonus, that we can pay you," and it was like $36,000.
Whoa.
And which is like different than the $2,000 that they originally were gonna do, like
So they kind of settled in a way.
Yeah, they kind of settled just because they were like, we got to get rid of this lady. And
Yeah.
I was just like refusing to sign it, which is not something that I would normally do. Normally I would be like, okay, whatever, people pleaser, I'll do whatever you say. And is this right? But I was like, what you did was wrong.
Yeah.
And
So why did they give you the bonus? So that you
so
would
I would sign
quit?
the papers and
Oh, it was a tit for tat.
Yeah.
So you did it.
Yeah, they were like, but we need you to sign the like the
Gotcha.
exit package.
So what? Okay, that was. I mean, honestly, that's the best of both situations.
Yes.
Best of all
Yes.
worlds, because if you had sued them, they would have settled.
Yes.
You would have gotten something.
Yeah.
But now you don't have to go through all
No,
that.
I
You don't
don't
have to pay
go
any
through-
lawyers.
no.
And it's probably more than
it was
you
just
were.
the HR person like constantly calling me to see if I was ready to sign the papers, and I was like, no.
Good work.
Yeah, good for you. though,
Really?
for
Chess
saying
game
that.
over there.
So
Pam.
don't if you
Yes.
get laid off like when you're going through a huge medical thing. They do. It happens frequently, apparently.
It's so disgusting.
Yeah, it's really
So
gross.
awful.
It's awful because it's like, a corporation doesn't care about your numbers or if you're, like, if it's why you have it because,
Right.
and they're spending all this money on your medical, or whatever it is.
Right.
But anyway, so then I went through chemo. Then you go through reconstruction. Fine.
Was the chemo the kind that you had to have like in
Yes,
the arm or the pill kind?
infused.
Oh, that's
infused.
And it's
infused. And you
cold,
sit there
right?
for like 8 hours, and it's cold and it's dyed pink. And so afterwards, you pee pink.
Oh, that's bizarre.
They're like, don't be
Fun.
scared. I think it's dyed pink because it's poison. Because they're like, this isn't saline,
Yes.
like or something. I think
So no
they
one can make
dyed them.
mistakes?
Are you sure
I
it's
think
not
it's just that.
in awareness of breast cancer?
That's the other thing
it's
too.
on
like,
brand.
When I was going through it, it was like very much like now I feel like more young people are getting breast cancer, which
Yeah.
is awful and terrible. But maybe it's just they're finding it sooner. Like people are more aware of like the gene and everything like that. But I felt like it was very much like Journey. And like all the stuff for breast cancer was very
I
much
can see the
like
font right now.
Yeah, like Survivor and all that. And I kind of didn't want to identify with that. Very script and like curly.
Feels all
Yeah.
live, laugh, love on a pillow.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
much like that, and I felt like that's not me. I'm not happy about this or
Yeah, it should be
anything.
like in barbed wire and like
Yeah.
black, like death metal font.
Yeah.
right,
Right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and also I didn't feel like I identified with most other breast cancer survivors at the time because I felt like I was young.
Yeah.
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 And now because whatever, there are more and more young people who are getting breast
You're
cancer.
like, where
for what-
were you when I had it?
Yeah, I know. I had like no. I mean, this was before anyone had it. I mean, I was the hit of the hop.
It was probably, I would imagine, because I've thought about this, just the psychology of a woman, and now they're taking your breasts away.
Yeah.
That's got to be really hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's funny that you say that.
Well, it's not like any other,
It is. Yeah, I did before.
And your hair.
And
well, your hair comes
and
back,
Your hair.
but
your
yeah.
hair comes back. But
Did you lose all your hair?
I did, yeah, for sure. And you lose the hair on your legs, everything.
That's
Everything.
the only reason I want it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, this is great, but you lose your eyebrows and your eyelashes too.
Yeah.
But now they have these cold caps that I think are expensive, but
Yeah,
like they
my
put.
friend wore one of those, but she still lost a lot of her hair.
Oh, really?
is that
So
supposed to
very
keep your
thin.
hair on?
Yes,
Yeah.
because it's freezing the hair follicles.
You're kidding.
Because like chemo kills rapidly growing cells, which hair is a rapidly growing cell. So that's why you lose your hair. It's not just like, oh, this is poison, or it's like specifically for a reason, I guess.
Oh, that's interesting. I never knew why you lost your hair.
That's
in chemo.
why.
Okay.
I mean, again, not a scientist, but that's what I was told. And but you can get freeze caps so your hair doesn't fall out. But it's also, and you can get wigs, and they're fine, you know. And I think actually now wigs are more popular for people to wear in regular everyday, like for fun. So
Sydney Sweeney wore one to the Met Gala.
For real?
So, yeah, because she wanted to be a brunette.
oh,
She was like, "How can I look 50?"
Oh, I thought she looked great. I liked her with dark hair.
really?
I only saw one picture, but
I haven't seen her picture yet. I haven't seen. Was her the gown good or?
I don't even remember the gown. I was just looking at the hair. You know, it was all. I don't remember what her gown was.
she looked like the Trader's host to me.
She wasn't that kind of wig. It was cute. I thought it was more
The
like
Traders UK host.
Yes, yeah. I thought it was more like a sort of Elizabeth Taylor kind of dark. It was really, really dark with bangs. It was cute.
Well, Pam can decide if it's faux
yay
pas.
or nay.
Yeah, she'll
yeah,
let us know.
Ditch or switch? I don't know. Anyway, so also like my nephew, maybe 2 years prior to me having breast cancer, my nephew had leukemia, and when he was 4, he's fine now. He's like in his 20s and everything.
Good.
But my mom was like, when I found out I had cancer, my mom was like, well, if little Steven could do it, you're going to be fine. And I was like, shut up. So, like, you know, he compares it. And that's like, he was like a more intense thing and everything. I was like, yes. So I didn't like really get a lot of.
You didn't get a lot of empathy.
No, I didn't really get a lot of empathy.
a
It's hard to
4-year-old
compete with a
leukemia.
4-year-old.
Damn it. He
Yeah.
stole your thunder.
I know. He really did. But, so anyway, then I did. So my mom was right. If little Steven can do it, I can do it. And then, then it was just like kind of like going from being a sick person, like reintroducing yourself back into life and doing things. Like initially when I, like got diagnosed, I felt like I was more of a people pleaser kind of person, or like, you want to make everybody happy or something. And then someone said to me, like, now's your time to really be an asshole. Be selfish. Like, think about yourself. Like, you don't have to worry about what other people are thinking or feeling about you or whatever. And so I really kind of like embraced that, I really kind of embraced that. I was like, like I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. Like, that is the thing.
That's so freeing.
And then when you're kind of like coming back out of it, like transitioning from like patient back to like kind of person, for me, I was like, like lay off on being not nice. Like you have to kind of start being a little bit nicer and
Stop yelling at nurses.
Yeah, but I feel like also some of the things, because people are like, what did you learn? Like as if it was some learning experience or that I'm like enlightened or something by it, but I am like, you, no matter what, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Like, don't out of niceness. Don't.
So you've maintained
a little bit, yeah.
That's
like
great.
My time is valuable to
great.
me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like valuable money wise. It's valuable because you just have like a finite amount of time until you die.
Yeah.
So you should do, things that you enjoy. I feel like, this is something to remember. It's something that you don't always remember or think about. But like, of course, I did a solo show about having cancer.
Of course.
You must. You simply must.
You have to.
And it was fun and it was interesting, but it was like a couple years after because I felt like I needed distance, like personally for me.
Yeah.
And then, so I was like performing it. It like was going really good. I got like best solo show of the year, like Time Out, New York Magazine, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Then I did it, and it was through characters. It was like I was kind of telling the story in different stages, like through characters, pretty much, And then I went to this thing called the Piccolo Festival. I think it's South Carolina or whatever, and to do the show there, and I was in like a side stage, like a very small stage that was like, didn't have a backstage. And in my show, I would like have to do costume changes. And like at the end of the show, I like have no shirt on and I have like a pirate eye patch over one boob and the other one's like exposed or whatever, like because it's like, oh, what women had to go through, you know, like centuries ago. And anyway, so the thing that I remember about it is I'm changing like kind of on stage. And the guy brought the lights up too soon, like, while, I don't have anything on. And he, like, started to bring him up, and I was like, oh, you know, because it's, like, such a shock. It's supposed to be, like, a in-your-face kind of a thing.
Yes, not yet.
And then after he, like, was like, I'm so sorry. He's, like, running up to me. He's, like, tripping over other chairs. I was like, it's fine. Like, who cares? It really is totally fine, you know?
Yeah.
I know, it's, like, lighting cues. There was, like, what could you do?
Yeah.
But then after we're, like, loading out, me and my other friends, because we were there to do improv shows too. So we're like loading out, and someone from the theater like runs up to me and they're like, "There's a woman here who wants to talk to you. She really wants to talk to you." And so I was like, "Okay." So we stopped like loading out, you know, like I had like an easel and whatever. So I stopped loading out, and she comes to talk to. I was like, "Oh, it's probably someone who has breast cancer, and she wants to talk to me about, you know, her breast cancer or whatever."
Right.
So the woman comes up to me and she goes, "Was that all true?" And I go, yeah, that's true. She's like, "That really happened." And I was like, "Yeah, that really happened. I really had breast cancer." And she's like, "Have you done this show before?" And I go, "Yeah, I've done it a lot. I've done it before." "Do people like it?"
Oh my God.
And I was like, yeah, people like it. Okay, nice meeting you.
That's what she wanted to grill you about?
Isn't that so weird? They're like, I want to talk. The woman was like, I want to talk to that person. Yeah. Also, what kind of maniac would do a solo show over having like breast cancer and be
that was fake?
That was totally fake.
I think that feels like somebody I'd be related to.
I'm sure someone's done that, but that's amazing.
You think someone's done that?
Well, there's that, we've talked to before about that woman who worked on Grey's Anatomy who pretended to have cancer. You know that whole story, right? Oh. She was a writer on Grey's Anatomy. She pretended to have a rare form of cancer. You have to look it up.
They did a lot of storylines on the show about her.
Oh, her journey?
Yes,
about her
because
journey.
she was supposedly going through all this shit, and even
her own wife thought she had cancer.
Yeah, she was just...
It's really fascinating.
It's amazing.
There's a really good like long form article about it in
like Atlantic.
It's like the Daily Beast or one of those. It's like it's good journalism, like fascinating, and it's like 2 parts. You can spend a whole afternoon.
Well, there's
about
also
this
like a catch up where they find her and interview her years after. Yeah, it's bananas.
What? Did she get divorced?
Yes.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
But like they also met in rehab, I think.
Yes. She had some multi-layered problems.
She had her own issues happening.
Yeah.
There was like some trauma bonding happening for sure. But it's really an incredible.
Oh, really?
Yarn.
Yeah. I gotta.
You will.
I just gotta.
You'll enjoy yourself.
Yeah. So I guess I was accused of being that person.
You were falsely accused.
That's amazing.
Isn't that funny?
That's so funny.
I was like, that's the thing I survived.
Yes, that's the thing you survived.
That's the thing I survived.
Yes,
that woman, yeah.
The strange criticism of somebody.
Well, like, what is your point? Like,
do people like it? Also, like, my other friends were there and they witnessed it, and I was like, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
But that does feel very like when you get out of, I don't know, I mean, LA and you come across people who don't sort of know how to talk about what your work is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've certainly had people like, no one I'm related to because they never have listened to an episode of the show, but like someone's husband will go, yeah, I listened to your podcast.
Yeah, that's all they say.
That's the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I go,
you're like, thank you?
Thanks.
I know. I just, great.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'm supposed to give them like a lot of credit, but they never say like,
I liked it.
I enjoyed it, or it's like they think I owe them something now.
Right.
Like, do you want me to give you money? Like,
I'm not soliciting you to listen.
What do you
listen to it if you want?
Yeah, you don't have to. Like, you don't owe that to me, but don't say
that's such a loaded thing to say.
It's like almost aggressive the way they say it.
Yes.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
Are you angry right now? It's weird. Anyway, that was so great. Sorry, Garen.
So, I was just say, really, my aunt tried to help me with my career before.
Yeah.
She goes, I got a friend. He lives in California. He's in the industry. He's going to help you out. I'm like, okay, who is this guy? well, here's his name, here's his number. The guy's a fucking magician.
He's very successful.
Did she know he was a magician?
Yes.
He's a successful magician. He knows show business. He knows show business.
I'm like, I write scary stories. What am I going to do with a guy who pulls rabbits out of hats? There's something I can do.
Same thing.
It's
all Hollywood. It's all Hollywood.
That's hilarious. My dad once said, I lived on Genesee in West Hollywood. He goes, I looked on the map and that's right across from CBS. Why don't you just walk over there and tell them you're a writer? Oh my God, I never thought of that. I should just walk over, knock on the door and say, I'm a writer and I'm here.
We've been waiting.
Oh, do you want to work on one? We're developing some new stuff. Do you want to come in and shoot some ideas?
Well, yeah, hand your script to the security guard who won't let you in.
Can you pass my packet along to late night? Whatever the show is there.
Infuriating.
Yeah, so fun, helpful advice.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you so much.
Of course.
This was an amazing...
Did I get through it in enough time?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Certainly
yes.
did.
Oh, good.
That was fantastic.
Oh,
thank you
good.
so much.
Oh, thank you.
We're glad you're healthy.
Yes.
Oh, thanks.
And, I actually learned a lot.
You did?
Yeah,
Good.
I've all the things I'm going to prepare for when I get cancer.
Get ready, everybody.
We all will eventually.
Yeah.
And we will be back right after this with What Did We Learn Today?
This podcast is brought to you by eHarmony, the dating app to find someone you can be yourself with. Why doesn't eHarmony allow copy and paste in first messages? Because you are unique, and your conversations should reflect that. eHarmony wants you to find someone who will get you. How are you going to know who gets you if people send you the same generic conversation starters they message everyone else? Conversations that actually help you get to know each other. Imagine that. Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up today.
This episode is sponsored by AutoTrader. There's a good chance you're driving right now. Look around. Safely. What do you see? Cars. Lots of them. And guess what? They're probably on AutoTrader. Whether you're into timeless classics or the latest trends. Did somebody say solar-powered, eco-friendly, vegan, leather-wrapped, aromatherapy-scented, disco ball-equipped, self-driving car? If you see it on the road, you can likely find it on AutoTrader. Big cars, small cars, blue cars, new cars, used cars, electric cars, and one day, maybe even flying cars. With millions to choose from, buying a car becomes a whole lot easier. See it, find it, AutoTrader. Find your next car on autotrader.com.
Chris.
Yes.
Are you ready to learn what we learned today?
Please.
The Magic Castle is a clubhouse for the Academy of Magical Arts and for magicians and magic enthusiasts. The Magic Castle is an invite-only performance venue, restaurant, and private club. A typical evening features magic and a variety of performances, as well as full-service dining room and several bars in a country club atmosphere. No, it is not a country club atmosphere. No. Many celebrities have performed at the castle, including Orson Welles. What? Johnny Carson, Steve Martin, Neil Patrick Harris, and actor Jason Alexander.
Ooh, wouldn't you love to go see Neil Patrick Harris do magic?
No.
Wouldn't that be like, that feels like a jail sentence.
It really does.
Like you can have community, like you have, maybe you crashed your car into somebody, you didn't kill them, but you hurt them. And they say, all right, here are your choices.
Yeah.
Community service, you have to go pick up garbage on the freeway in an orange jumpsuit, or you can go to the Magic Castle and see Neil Patrick Harris.
See a gajillionaire do magic?
Yes.
What about, would you rather have him do magic at you?
Yes.
Or
At you.
read one of his books for tweens?
He wrote books for tweens?
I'm pretty sure he has a series of books. I think they're supposed to be not that bad.
Are you getting him confused with Chris Colfer?
Maybe.
Because he has a book, very popular tween series.
Most famous people are allowed to write books. They're just allowed.
No, they're encouraged and
so I
asked
feel like
to.
he's written something. Has he written something?
He has written things, yes.
Okay. Children's things?
Yeah, the Magic Misfits.
Okay. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Homesteading is a lifestyle of self-sufficiency. It is characterized by subsistence agriculture, home preservation of food, and may also involve the small-scale production of textiles, clothing, and craftwork for household use or sale. Pursued in different ways around the world and in different historical eras, homesteading is generally differentiated from rural, village, or commune living by isolation, either socially or physically, of the homestead. Unless, of course, you're Instagramming all of it in which case you're not isolating and you're just trying to get likes. If you're going to cheat, don't be old, don't eat or drink, and don't screw someone young enough to make your heart explode. 4 states have passed a constitutional amendment explicitly declaring that their constitution does not secure or protect the right to abortion or allow use of public funds for abortion. 17 states and the District of Columbia have laws that protect the right to abortion. 3 states have protections for the right to abortion in their state constitutions. I guess that means 3 of those 17.
Yeah.
4 states and the District of Columbia have codified the right to abortion throughout pregnancy without state interference. 12 states explicitly permit abortion prior to viability or when necessary to protect the life or health of a pregnant person. 11 states and the District of Columbia have protections of abortion for abortion of viters, and in some cases, individuals who support patients from the reach of out-of-state abortion restrictions and bans. Don't breathe on it. That's our last note.
Don't breathe on it.
Quick update.
Oh.
I know everyone's been champing at the bit for the results of this. I refilled out my W-4s and I got my money.
Woohoo!
So take that, Brian. It is possible.
Take that, Brian.
Guy was like, nope, you're out of luck. Just this happens all the time and it never gets resolved.
Oh, I'm picturing Brian and he is not attractive.
He is not in my corner, that's for sure.
Brian has like the wrong kind of freckles.
What does that mean? They're upside down? But they're just like on his chin and go up?
Concave.
Just the kind that don't look good.
What if you had freckles just like on your chin up to your mouth? That would be so weird.
That would be so
You'd have to grow a beard.
That would be so weird.
Why don't freckles go there?
I think
why do they just go over your nose? And
some people though are
cheeks?
all freckled, Like,
I know that's
so
pretty cute. I know, so they don't like it, but
that can happen. But
I don't know about Joker freckles.
Joker freckles?
Wait, that's what you're saying? Where they go up like a grin,
like a mask?
Oh, I was
like a demon mask.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Gosh,
well, that doesn't happen. Anyway,
come for the stories, stay for the freckles.
Exactly.
Don't make fun of God's special gift of freckles.
Did you read Freckle Juice when you were little?
Yes,
I loved that book.
I have it on the shelf.
Oh, did your kids read it?
I don't know if they ended up reading it, but I saw it at a guess where, Goodwill, and I was like, Freckle Juice, I have to get it.
Yeah.
It's weird how that happens a lot. Like you see stuff that you're nostalgic for. I don't know why I did air quotes. And you just have to like, I need to own this thing I had when I was a kid because I love it. I'm going to get it.
You do that a lot probably, right?
Too much.
Yeah. I don't do that. The only time I think I was tempted was when I think I talked about it on the show was when they re-released the Holly Hobby not color forms, the things that would stick. Oh shoot,
those are color forms.
Color forms.
Oh,
they're like almost magnets.
Yes.
And I saw them in Target, and my whole from toes to my top of my head was like nostalgia.
Yes,
and I was like, holy
must have.
Yeah, I didn't buy them, but I took a picture, and that sated my.
Oh, that's good.
Because like, what am I going to do with those? But it was
play with them. Like adult coloring books, but instead you're doing color forms.
What were the things where also there was a picture and you slotted it in a plastic thing, and so you could change the like the top of the body, the middle of the body, and then you colored them in.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's like model plates.
And you would do
something about plates.
You would do the like coloring pencil sideways.
Yeah.
And it would show up on the paper.
Something
and underneath,
like that.
I'm picturing like raised pink plastic almost.
Yeah.
I think
dresses.
It was like fashion.
Yes, it was fashion. Fashion plates. Maybe it was called fashion plates.
I have no idea.
We'll look it up for next time.
You know what I saw at the Target that I felt similarly about? Munchichi.
Ugh.
You didn't like Munchichi when you were
I
young?
thought they were so ugly.
Oh, I loved them. They were so cute.
Really?
With their little banana thumb in their mouth.
Oh gosh. Yep. I think that's it. Fashion plates.
That looks right.
Except I thought there was a thing where you could flip, and there were like the torso.
This is like the new one, so maybe there is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it still exists.
Right. That's fun.
Retro Remix Edition. This one's called.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks older than me. That looks like it's from the 60s or something.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I got my papers.
Good job.
I got my paper.
Finally, Brian.
Yeah, that was a relief.
Well,
until next time, Remain calm.